What's up, gamers? Welcome back to the OC Hive Mind Round 5, final round of matches. I'm here with Victor. Victor, how are we doing today?
Hello, hello. I'm doing good. What's going on?
Not much. It seems that we have you not only on commentary, but also on camera.
Yeah, lucky me. Was able to get to play Anthony, excellent opponent in this final round here. So, happy to play against him. Not the deck though.
That's understandable. We know Four Color doesn't have a very good Tron matchup. Looks like you're mulliganing to 5 here.
Yeah, not what I wanted to see, but I mean, knowing what Anthony's playing, I am looking for a very specific set of cards. It's almost an automatic lose anyway, so you might as well just try to be greedy and mull for a hand that could potentially steal the game away. So
Are
that's kind of
those
what I was doing.
are those cards Renin 6 and Beside You?
That is exactly it, and there ain't many of them,
Yeah.
in this current list. So
Now, you don't see a lot of Tron decks playing Bauble. So, having played Anthony, can you tell me a little bit about what his Tron deck's trying to do?
yeah, so it's basically KCI Tron. So if you're familiar with the combo decks for everyone at home, the old Crack Clan Ironworks combo, it's basically that engine. Just instead of the actual Ironworks, it's a Tron package that tries to do it.
Okay, that makes sense. It looks like he's got some interesting new cards that'll help him with that. I see a Mirror Retriever. Okay, okay. A man after my own heart. I was a big fan of the KCI combo. Sad to see it go, but that's mostly because a lot of people played it badly. Feel free to put your hate comments in the comments below. If you didn't like KCI, I didn't like you, so that doesn't matter. But I'm good enough being the villain as is now anyway. So, Natural Tron, how do you feel in this spot?
I could just pack it in right here and really not have any guilt about it, but knowing that Anthony is doing this particular weird build, it doesn't mean concede right away. Though this turn was nothing of what I wanted to do or deal with.
Yes, this is one of the new Eldrazi. I believe that whenever you cast a color spell, you make a Scion, and then it pings you. So
Yes.
this one's definitely pretty interesting. But it also looks like if he's going to be playing a bunch of these cards, he's going to be netting mana similar to netting mana off of KCI.
Yeah, it functions twofold. It's dealing damage, as a ping, and it's also ramping. So I think it's a great addition to his deck, especially for what he's trying to do. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think if you're gonna be playing Tron, that the Eldrazi variations are just the more optimal thing to be playing. But Anthony likes what he likes, and I respect it.
Yeah, I see a Mystic Forge in his hand, Scrap Trawler as well, along with the Mirror Retriever. Uh, yeah, this is definitely pretty interesting. Yeah, the Renin 6 call on the needle is almost lights out here, unless you have a pending, which you might.
I did draw a pending, and actually, what's funny about it is that Anthony knew that from when he bobbled me. It was the revealed card,
Ooh,
so
okay.
it was an interesting name looking back on it, but it's still fine because then I'm pending his needle. He can always just get it back because it's a
I was gonna
pending.
say,
So
I know you know that interaction, but some of our players at home might not. If you do pending the needle, he can always just buy it back with Karn, guys. So these are some of the interesting lines that you can take with these decks, but some of them might be a little suboptimal. Ooh,
yeah, so I just jammed the One Ring here. Obviously, knowing I can't activate it, I just wanted to just be able to buy myself a turn because this next turn I had an Omnath, so I'm trying to get the Omnath in play to go off and get a little bit
well,
more going on.
well, I see a line that if you get the Omnath to go off, you can use that free mana to exile the Karn and then start using your One Ring.
Yeah, I kind of forget if I even get this next turn because unfortunately, even though I briefly described what Anthony's doing, I actually don't remember how it ends up
Is that a
finally killing you.
semblance anvil?
It is a semblance amble. Yep, he does get the.
I'm gonna have to pull that card up here. Just to double check exactly what it does. Imprint. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile a non-land card from your hand. Spells you cast that share a type with the exiled card cost 2 less. So he imprinted it, I'm assuming, with the Forge. That's why the Forge is there.
No. He casted the Forge. The imprinted card was a Mirror Retriever. It's on the top there.
Okay,
It's the one that's facing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's gonna start doing some value stuff. It's at this point I was ready to pack it in. I mainly did this because, again, I admittedly just don't remember what it does sometimes, so I kind of wanted to just see what's going on. One thing of note that the Eldrazi does deal damage, so because I have protection, I don't take the damage.
So is it an option to do damage? Like, can he do damage to the Wrenn instead, or?
No, I believe it's each opponent, but because it's damage and not loss of life, I don't take anything.
Yeah, because you have protection. Got it. Okay. And then he used the Ugin to kill the halfling, it looked like?
Yeah.
Okay.
He already had the needle on Ren, so it's not really a threat. And I think he attacked it anyway, which I didn't agree with, because I think if you're gonna kill the halfling, you're just gonna.
That's another one ring. Now, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So our hero goes down in game 1, but I mean, we'll see what happens in game 2. There's definitely some sideboarding to do. So
there is a ton of sideboarding. So in this particular matchup, since I have the luxury of having my sideboard right next to me here, I believe I go over it anyway. So we'll double check. Let's see if Vic with
our editor, our great editor Calvin did say he left a lot of this in for us to talk about. So it'll be interesting to go over your choices here. What are the cards you want to take out of your deck here? Are we taking out like Solitudes? Are we taking out like some removal spells because like his combo's kind of weak? Like what's your thought process here?
So you take out some of it, right? Because Anthony is playing with the Scrap Trawler and the Mirror Retriever, there is a creature element that is kind of mission critical that you do need to deal with.
Sure.
So I believe I shaved on 2 Solitudes. Yeah, you can see I have them there. It would help if I actually wrote these things down, knowing we're going to have commentary, but I digress a little bit.
It's okay. We're like almost a week out from when this had happened. I see Flages in your deck. Are you trimming any number of Flages here?
No, I don't believe I did. I think I just liked the kind of advantage of Flage being able to kill his creatures, pressure Karn, plus also be a way for me to end the game. So I liked that it kind of did all those things. So I was cool with leaving it in there.
Understandable. I get that. I personally feel that's a little slow, but you are a mid-range deck. Like that's kind of what you're trying to do. But when you do start turning those wheels and turning the gears, you do want to try and get your opponent dead. So these are things I understand. Is there so we don't want to trim the Wrenn and 6s. Obviously, you said that's part of your plan. Is there a world where we trim on Teferis? Because there's not a lot of targets to bounce. You'd rather just remove them, the targets, I'm saying?
I think I end up removing. I might have taken them all out after game 2 and 3, just because Anthony doesn't do anything at instant speed and he just combos on his turn. So if I remember correctly,
that looked like a bunch of Consigned to Memory, a couple Dampen Spear,
2 Dampening Spear, 3 Consigned to Memory, 2 Besagus, and 2 Force of Vigors were at the very least what I brought in. I might have brought even more.
Dear God.
Yeah, I mean, ironically, because the sideboard, you're trying to, stop like the storm decks that are out there and everything else. Some of those cards have a lot of overlap against Tron hate. So
sure, that's fair.
The matchup isn't great. Might as well just bring the cards in while you got them. And there's a lot of, air that you can take out. I mean, even if you wanted to make the argument to take out 2 Solitudes, 4 Teferi, you're already at 6 cards there. So, yeah. I mean, that's a lot that can come out. And
Okay.
there's argument for even more. You
As
could
your team member and friend, you know I'm rooting for you, but at the end of the day, I want the best plays to win. So we'll see. Now, Anthony did keep 7 last game. Tron is infamously known for mulliganing hands, and I'm looking at Anthony's hand right now, and I'm like, I know he's kind of showing it here. It looks like he's only got 1 Tron piece, I think, and like a handful of what I think is nothing. I could just be looking at it wrong. Like I think he might just
um
have his star, and that's it.
yeah, well, you have to remember
Oh, sorry,
because
land star stirring. Okay, I see it now.
yeah, yeah, I was gonna bring that to your attention, but also because of the nature of Anthony's deck, it's not the end of the world if he doesn't have turn 3 Tron. He's just trying to buy time anyway. So it
Fair.
isn't the biggest deal.
I do think if he doesn't find a land here, I see a Tron piece, but I think if he doesn't find a land here, there's gonna be an issue. Don't take the mine. There, we got the power plant. Um, and then I think he also drew a bauble off the star, so he could be cooking with gas. He just needs to hit another Tron piece and be okay. Um, in your head right now, based off of the amount of cards he's used so far, where do you think you're at? You think you're like above 50, below 50 right now?
Until my Tron opponent concedes, it's always below 50. It just never
Okay,
feels like I'm
that's fair.
ever really winning. There might be a few moments in the game here where I might feel better, but um I know
I mean,
I
I
had a
see a consign.
consign.
I see the consign.
Yeah.
Like I see a lot of. I see at least one hate card and a couple. It looks like an Omnath and a couple lands. It looks like you're gonna try and like do some fun. Yeah, good guy Victor over here, making sure he draws his other card for the bubble.
Yep. Listen, if I'm gonna win, I want to win fairly.
That's a
Now this is
retriever.
I'm pretty sure I snap off the consign here just because I felt that the value that he gets from that bauble, I was like, you know what, on curve, because I'm pretty sure I play the Omnath or I jam the Omnath here.
Jamming the Omnath, I think, is one of the better lines, and then you can just do what you do. It looks like you got a One Ring too,
Yeah,
so
I
you
drew the
can.
One Ring for turn there, so it really just
Yep. Are we getting a basic? Ooh, we're getting a tap land. Okay, okay. I would have liked to see. I'm not sure what fetch lands you had in hand. I would have liked to see like maybe leave blue mana open, see if he respects second consign or something. But
probably it wouldn't have been a bad bluff, but
binning the
hindsight.
breeding pool. You just want to see you want to see good cards here.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking for lands
Okay.
right now.
Yeah. Um. It looks like another power plant. Okay. And he's gonna exile. Now this is probably just me. Ooh, he's got grinding station in his deck too. Okay.
That is part of the combo.
Yeah. Another interesting line is with the Semblance Anvil, you can exile an enchant or an artifact and then just get it back with Karn. You don't get the cost reduction anymore, but you can
It's kind of like an
hide something for a
Ugin's
turn. Yeah,
Labyrinth situation where if you
yeah.
need the
If you're
card
worried
back,
about
you could do
discard
it.
effects and stuff like that, yeah. You've drawn the 2 right away. 3 cards total for the turn. Word.
Yeah,
I
I don't
think
know.
I got a
Mean, make
feeling there's going to
Omnath
be a.
colors, you could say, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't know.
sure. That's fair.
Work feels funnier.
I got all these rings, dog. You're
Shout out to
looking.
you for those extended arts.
Yeah, I sold the normals. Kind of sad about that now, but that is what it is. Um, 3 mana, exiled, nice play. Um, Another thing, I had a train of thought that I just lost. I'm sorry. Um, you're really ahead here, like by a lot. Uh,
It feels like it, but in
but yeah, a Tron land can swing the matchup. Like hitting tower swings the matchup a lot. So
yeah,
kind of
I'm
what.
granted I had protection this turn, but I just don't.
Mhm.
His ability to rebuild can be pretty substantial.
Yeah,
So
I'm here for it.
always,
I kind of, if you were gonna do that anyway, I kind of would have liked to see you attack with halfling. But that's just me. I'm not sure
yeah,
if
I
you made
don't.
that snap decision after attacking, but
Yeah, I think I was hoping he would block and just Kraken, just hit the one at me. Or no, he couldn't even do that. So never mind. It was probably a bad idea.
it's fine. Hey, we're not all perfect, man. We all can't be me.
If only. If only.
He says, losing all his flips with polarity last week. So we got the Trawler in play. You're still winning the creature race here. You're winning the ring race also.
Yeah, here when Anthony did not play a land and went Trawler Go, that is when I felt infinitely better about his hand being strong, but he was missing some core pieces. And one of the nice things about this particular variation is there's not that many ways to search for lands consistently. So knowing that he's living off the top of his deck, plus needing some extra help in either the stars or having to use the stirrings to find a land.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I started to peak up a little bit that I was probably going to take this game, but against, like I said, against Tron, when you're on Omnath, don't take it for granted until your opponent's dead.
No, I firmly agree with you. I do think you're firmly behind until their opponent's at 0. Just because the way the matchup normally works. But I want to see you get scrappy. I want to see. Ooh, baby. Yeah, I figured with the stirrings in his hand, he would buy that back. Come on, baby, get in. Oh,
Listen, I need mana.
do you have enough? You do have mana to buy back. You can buy back Flage right now too.
Could buy back Flage.
Escape is the right word I was looking for. My bad.
That's true. That's true. Well, I can retrace it with 6 so that I can just like deal 3s.
That's true. I was very impressed because I watched one of your other games when you played against Max with 6. I don't know why I read that card. Oh Jesus! I don't know why I read that card as like you needed to have Delirium. I think I reread that card like 15 times this week. 6 is so very powerful in these mid-range decks.
Yeah, he like I read it and then just it didn't really comprehend to me the idea of like just non-land permanent retrace. Until I actually in that moment played this One Ring and I was like, wait a minute, this is kind of gross. Just being able to like almost like just with impunity, get to just recycle my rings here. Like even then, I'm losing my ring, but I have another one in yard, and
Yeah, and you have a 6 in play, baby. Like there's no problems for you drawing cards for the rest of this game. You just have a handful of cards, an Omnath in play, and I mean you can basically, if you attack with the 6, you're almost guaranteed to see a land because your deck is mostly lands. Bring the team, bring the squad.
So actually, one thing that I did end up realizing is that in the middle of the game, I remembered because he had exiled the grinding station that the grinding station was how he wins the game, which is actually why you'll see that I tend to just put out rings first because I don't want to get comboed out, and that's how he wins. So
Got it. Okay.
that's why I started to do that. Though I think about now that I think about it, I wonder if he can do that at instant speed. I'll have to ask him, see if he'll reveal his secrets. But um,
At instant speed, get the grinding station or win at instant speed?
oh, he can't win at instant speed because he has to recast all the spells. So no, he can't. He can't do it. But I see the line here of just double retrace Flage to kill him.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so we're on to the next game. Clearly, the timer is broken. I'm not sure how much time is in the round, but
We don't go to
ooh.
time. I know that.
Okay. Oh, he has the Tron set up. It would be nice to see a planes, and then oh no, you couldn't. It wouldn't have mattered. So you're under the gun. Your opponent has natural Tron. You played two halflings. You have roughly 4 mana in play right now on your turn 2, going into your turn 3 next. How are you feeling?
I could have. I think I thought about Scooby right then and there when I saw the Tron setup already, but being on camera, I was a little bit more inclined to make some
Mhm.
content. But this turn kind of hurts my soul a little bit.
Multiple grinding stations.
Yeah, not a big fan of it, but I didn't really have a choice.
Well, he can't target you for an entire turn.
Whoop de dee. Little misplay of playing the land first. I probably should have. Oh no, you know what? That's why I get the surveil land to see an extra card.
No,
In
I think that's
theory.
smart. So at this point, I assume you already have the amount of lands you want in hand. That's why you bend the Flooded Strand.
Yeah, my hand was not the greatest to protect against this combo at this point.
Okay. So he gets the land back. Crack map. Yep. What's he gonna find with it? Ooh. Okay.
He already has Tron. He doesn't need the eighth mana. Like he doesn't
Yeah,
need
I'm
the
not
extra
sure if he
mana.
needs to get to 10 or anything. Like I said, I haven't seen this deck at all. So he's got the Scrap Trawler kind of going.
So there will be a moment in this match where I will ask you to pause, and I will let you know when, and I'll explain
Sure,
why.
that's
Because
fair.
there was a very interesting moment that will come up that
So
you know
yeah.
is worth talking about. One
Okay.
of the
So
fun.
we got a bauble here. He finds off the stirrings. He has a trawler in hand, a semblance amble, and a power plant in hand. So oh, there was a grinding station, not a semblance amble. Sorry.
Yeah, I just remember this being like a gross thing of just getting the value train to just do a pretty decent job of going through the chain.
So he has 2 mana floating, a green and or no, he just has a green floating. It's the forest, yes.
Yeah, we figured it out.
Yep. So 2 bauble triggers.
Yeah, I think he ends up with 3 here. I think he ends up just doing it 3 times. I'd like to thank Wizards of the Coast for printing an absolutely fun, degenerate card.
Bubble is clearly fair in the decks that it's trying to be fair in, but I don't think this is one of them. So he drew 3 cards in your upkeep. 3 lands. He's showing the camera. I appreciate that, Anthony. Thank you.
Yeah, Anthony was very excited to be on camera. He had let me know it was his first time, and he was definitely awesome.
He wants to show off. He wants to show off his cool deck. I get it. His deck's pretty cool. Like I said, I'm a fan of KCI. Haters down in the comments, blow yourselves. I'm really going off about the people in the comments right now.
Yeah. I mean, the video's not even out yet, and you're already not making friends. You know what? I won't stop you.
Hey, the people hate me. The people are always going to hate me, except for the one guy who loved my Shigar quote this past week.
I mean, it's sugar, but actor, it's okay.
Sugar, paid actor, I love you. Thank you. So we have your turn. You've drawn a couple cards, at least 3 for the turn, with the 1 ring in your draw step. Are we close to this pause moment you've been talking about, or?
It comes pretty soon, so I'll probably let the play that makes me remember the moment be presented, and then I'll ask you to pause, and I'll explain the situation when it does come up. My hand was not great. Again, I had a couple of pieces. My mana wasn't helping me here. Of note, and something I forgot to mention is that because I remembered that Anthony does things with Scrap Trawler and the Mirror Retriever, I actually did bring in endurances against him to stop it from happening. Because once you get, I think there's a point where if I endurance after I think it goes down to the 0 again, I can stop the combo, or maybe it's the higher one. But there is a point in time where there is an endurance play available, and
okay, that's fair. So we got you playing a ring. You're drawing another card. It looks like you have a Flooded Strand in hand. You're going to crack this Wooded Foothill, Windswept Heath. I almost feel like you're trying to get red in 6 mana here. Oh. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
I always like to ask everyone if it resolves first, just because it's an ETB.
Very, very smart.
The reason I go for the not only because I have the binding, but I knew I was gonna really need some green, so yeah.
Okay.
And here's me trying to figure out my life.
With a Trawler in his hand that we know about, but you don't, I think he should sack the Trawler, obviously.
Yeah, I couldn't see why you would want to.
This is interesting, because he's going to definitely try and get rid of your 1 ring, but you have protection. Okay.
I almost ironically did start milling, but then I remembered the whole reason I did it in this order was to avoid getting self-milled here.
Smart. Well, that 1 ring's dead for now. Okay.
Never enjoy when a Tron player gets to go look in their sideboard for things.
Let me look at these 15 cards and see which one beats you.
Yeah, let me look at all my silver bullets and my exile cards. I won't spoil it. The card will be revealed momentarily, but I believe I remember what it is. Thank goodness Karn can't get Eldrazi.
That's an interesting looking one. Is that one from the A
I think
commander
it's a
set?
new art from I want to say Fallout, but I could be wrong.
Okay. It just looks interesting. 6 mana, 2 floating. Okay.
So actually, you can pause right here. This is
Okay,
where
so
because I'm
editor,
about
we are
to.
going to pause, and I'll let you know when we are unpaused. So, pausing. So,
So
he has a Mystic Forge on the stack, and he has 2 mana floating with the possibility of a third.
so
What's your thought process?
there are 3 cards in my hand of note here. There is a Force of Vigor, an Endurance, and a Delighted Halfling. And
I'm
in this
assuming those are your
situation,
only green cards.
those are my only green cards. So
Big oops.
the situation I was in here was: do I snap off the Endurance to clear the graveyard out in hopes that he can't keep comboing or doing more than what he's already got? Or do I save for the Force of Vigor to blow up the grinding station and the Mystic Forge to just hopefully just stop the value train here? And I think I tank on it for a little bit.
Don't tell me your answer, because I want to give a guess and give a line of play that I think I would do. But um so with those options that I know about in your hand besides the other cards, I honestly wouldn't do anything just yet, because with the Mystic Forge and the Semblance Anvil, or the grinding station, he hasn't shown me anything. If he does use this 3 mana to play the Trawler, that's going to put me in a different spot where, like, maybe I Force of Vigor the 2 artifacts he has, and then say, oh, cool, have fun with your Trawler. Like, that's not in play right now. Or I think there's the other line to do the Endurance. So I'm going to wager a guess that you evoke Endurance here. Don't tell me the answer. I want to see it on the tape. But
I'm
let me
not
know
going to
when
say
we're
a
good.
word. We'll let
Let
the
me.
gameplay play out.
Okay, editor, unpause the video.
I think I do give a little lead time here.
And we're still waiting.
Yeah, I was gonna say there is gonna.
That's fine.
It's not an episode of Dragon Ball Z. There will be a resolution within a reasonable amount of time.
Good. I didn't want to stay on Planet Namek very longer anyway. Oh, you save resolve. Okay. Does he pull the trigger on the 3-drop? Moves it to the front of his hand. That's normally a tell. Okay. Very interesting. Force of Vigor. I was wrong, but I like the play. Gotta say, I like the play.
Best part about that card: destroy.
Yes. Huge against Karn the Great Creator.
Yeah, definitely very happy that I got to do that.
Good line.
And so the reason I ended up taking that line is because once I knew, because to my knowledge, the land was already played this turn.
Yep, he played the tower.
I was no longer concerned about the combo continuing, so I just felt that the value was too good not to. And also now untapping with Endurance in hand, I know that I have the ability to get value.
Do you have a land in hand that finds green mana?
I have a Flooded Stream, but it was also a slight punt.
Yeah,
And
that's
also
why
Anthony
that's
makes a
why I'm
punt
sitting here. That's why I'm sitting here like, why did we tap that land?
Yeah, so I make a punt. Anthony makes a punt because he didn't crack his Haywire Might in response. So
in response to the Flash.
Yeah, because he could have with the target on the stack. He could have.
Oh yeah, he could have got
a card.
A ring. Got it. Understood.
So.
Ooh. You have to get a breeding pool. Yeah.
That is one fantastic looking mana base, if I don't say
I mean,
so
you could have
myself.
also gotten Temple Garden. Yeah, your mana base does look good. Your paid actor did say that in the comments. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, and I got away with a better price than you probably did. Mine was free 99.
I
Shout
mean,
out
so was
to
so.
the compliment.
Yeah, so was mine, and we had a nice little
I
back
don't
and
know
forth.
about that. I checked the business account. There was a charge the other day.
Yeah, that was for me to buy my flages. Ooh, and you tap low. Okay. I mean, he has what 5 mana. If he draws it, he gets 3, 6, 10, 12. Then you're probably in trouble.
Felt like I was in trouble either way. This just made it so that
Oh,
there was the possibility of a more fair game here, but there wasn't. It happened.
sure. He still needs the sack outlet, right? He doesn't have the sack outlet at the moment. Ooh, you had another one. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I forgot that I had. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mainly asked this out of pure just wanting Anthony to think about other things other than his combo.
Well,
It
and I
wouldn't
mean,
have made a
like,
difference to me,
hey,
but
man, making your opponent make a mistake is ways to win the game.
and
You were
here,
very happy to
here,
hear him say pass the turn,
yeah,
but it
here is
does
where
look
I
like you have a
felt
bunch of
like
lands in hand.
I have, yeah. So I'm left with the endurance, the one ring, and 2 lands. But I felt that I had weathered the storm just because with the amount of mana that Anthony had available to not continue. I
Hopefully, you
felt
use
like
the halflings to pay for this flage.
that's a good question. I guess we'll find out on the next episode.
Hey, man, you left 2 green up. Look at you.
Yeah, this time I made sure to play that properly.
Oh gosh, and he draws the retriever. Your life total's ticking down. We got the ring activations going around. Looks like a leyline binding in the grip now, and a 6. Ooh. Can get that back with Karn too.
Can get it back with Karn.
Can get that back with Karn.
Yeah, actually, you can get back both of them. But at this point, like, I didn't think Karn was going to be the answer. I was okay with
Ooh,
it.
baby. And now every other spell, yeah, I think that's lights out unless he can deal with it. Because
I mean,
not only are
his draws, yeah, his draws didn't help him out at all. Once he had played land and not done anything, that's when I just knew it's time to pump the brakes here. And yeah, Anthony had a different colored sleeve for that. He had a broken sleeve issue, I believe, so he just had to swap that out.
I get you. I do think Dampening Sphere against his combo deck is much worse because now all the other like spells that he's trying to play on the same turn are going to cost more. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is a lucky inadvertent benefit of trying to hit out Ruby Storm with spheres that I can also hit this.
Yeah. We gonna see Big Papa Pump come out of the graveyard? Gotta be honest, it's one of my favorite things. Yep, that's the mana. Was that me in the background?
I believe that was you. So
Actually, it could have been Christian.
I can't remember who was in the room looking down, but ironically, with escaping, because you're running Ren and 6 plus 6, you actually have to think about what you're taking out of the graveyard much more than before.
Sure, but it looks like you hit a bunch of lands and a Force of Vigor there, and possibly a Prismatic Ending. So I get that it makes sense that you have to think about what's going to move, but Flage is just such a powerhouse. I mean, Uro was a powerhouse when it was in the format. I think this is going to be just as big of a powerhouse moving forward. It justifies the cost of the card. It justifies everybody picking it up. It's also, I think, the second most played card at the Pro Tour coming up this weekend. So behind for MH3 behind Galvanic Discharge. Good games, dude. It was nice to see you scoot that one out. It was awesome to see Anthony in his very cool deck. But
I really didn't want to lose this match.
Oh, here we go.
I mean these 8 are like dead. Right, because you don't play at instant speed anyway for the most part, and you don't care.
You took out all the Solitudes. Look at that.
But yeah, it's not as
Yeah,
as
I think
I have
the
other,
backbreakers.
I think
yeah,
originally I
like,
took out
definitely
only
in the back
2,
row, like, these are
but
more impactful
I
to me
was
than 3 Fairy is.
thinking about it that he doesn't really run that many fatties that I want to get rid of, so
Obviously, or
just let these other cards that I bring in do the trick.
Because, like, you can just
Yeah.
if you get stuck with a bunch of halflings you don't need, you can just keep doing. You can keep retracing to just
Those lines make sense.
to let that go off at 6.
Yep.
But
And then just
it's
trimming
crazy
on the ley line
I forgot that
bindings.
It has a little nice little text box about making your
Yeah, I believe I trimmed on 1 prismatic, 1 leyline binding, because again, exile effects are not as good against Tron, so sometimes having destroy effects like Force of Vigor are better.
I thought about
That's
Wrath.
why.
Yeah.
I thought about Wrath, but then I'm like, you do everything on your turn anyway. So unless like, the only way that would be cute is if I had 3 fairy and then did it when
Then
you
you
were
can-
going off. But
yeah.
like, I'm taking 3 fairy out, so I just decided.
I would have. I mean, out of all the stuff that you have in the sideboard,
Like I brought in hate against hate.
I'll let Anthony talk here.
For me.
Yeah.
So pick your poison. Engineering explosives. I was trying to get rid of your like halflings or any like stuff like this.
Yeah.
These are really fun to get rid of with the
I like the EE.
I just choose sphere on
Different
like
color.
a different color and then land for green. Pitting needle, because I noticed you had a couple walkers that I could probably hit with it, or again hit your Boseiju, hit certain things.
Needle on Beseiju is so good against you.
And I sideboard 1. Again, just because
Yeah,
the life gain is
definitely
good.
not what I want in my life.
Getting rid of bindings,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
You don't like keeping the second one so that you can search off of it with Karn,
Uh,
or you're just like.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been punished once or twice by that. But playing this on turn 1 and then having my opponent like try and do something is like way better. And also so often I'll like play Karn and I'm like, I need to either search for like an answer or I need to search for something to win me the game. And so I'm trying to search for things to win me the game more. So if I have an answer in deck already, it feels great. If I'm looking for something to win me the game, or like a Mystic Forge, cool, it draws me like. Makes it so there's a high chance I draw into
Always good to hear about what pilots think about matchups. We appreciate Anthony. Victor, I appreciate you. Once again, it's been the Hive Mind. I've been Sparky. Say goodbye, Victor.
Goodbye, Victor.